Bortles now to throw.
Got him.
And complete over the middle. Safarian Jenkins. A good pickup there at 22. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. They'll toss it to Fournette. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Here we go.
Fuck our quarterback.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down.
Oh, trickery!
And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
380.
Throwing now is Bortles. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Lambeau will put this one through. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This will be taken short. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Well, for Pittsburgh, as they come back out here, it's not going to get much easier than the Week 1 tie against Cleveland. Kansas City next week, and then they have Tampa Bay, but then Baltimore and Atlanta the following weeks.
Listen, if you're a defensive back, a secondary player, you better get your rest this week, because Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, they're going to test you downfield. And that game with Tampa Bay looked like a gimme. No longer a gimme after what Tampa did against New Orleans. And then, who's that in the 4th game?
The Ravens.
The Ravens. Renewing that rivalry once again.
This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Going up top. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Remember you got that.
Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski
different
was an
things for different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be too simple. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. To throw is Bortles. Buying time to his left. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to go down in the field of play. So they say no to the field goal try, and time has run out on this first half.
That's my bad.
So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. James has it. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Roethlisberger to his big target, James. All 6-7 of him for a Steeler first down. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. Now Roethlisberger on first down. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And that'll bring up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Roethlisberger. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 33. And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Javon Hargrave breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
With it is Brown. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. They'll roll him out right. That's complete. It's Bell. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Being chased out left. It's caught at the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
Hello?
They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. Now Bell. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. He's back to throw.
That defensive front four has been very good. They have just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like 4-down defensive linemen, they feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
Back to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald from 6 yards away. And if the Steelers can convert the extra point, they will have the lead. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Now Leonard Fournette. Room here to run. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. His throw incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Back to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. They still got 2 timeouts. Got to start using them, don't they?
You absolutely have to. You save them for this situation, but you have to use them.
Here's Bortles to throw. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to almost certainly win the football game. So there was a little meat on that ball, a little more than a chip shot considering the circumstances, but he's able to bang it home in what should be the game winner.
And the key was getting him into a good position to kick from. I mean, if that's a 52-yarder, you're going to have some anxious moments, but kickers nowadays, you give them anything under 40, and they're automatic.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey and his crew.
That's about the gayest thing somebody can do. I'm glad I was playing live. And y'all see that punk ass shit they do on Madden.
Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's bad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse deep and irate. We act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me. Bet on my bacon, big and flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Have a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my... I've been broke for way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, brother. One in the hand, one in the bag, brother. bubbly. Look at the cash, bubbly. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbly. Look at the cash, bubbly. Look at the cash, bubbly. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young. Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. They better got my stuff. R.I.P. the times that I was broke.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly,
Hopefully
Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'll take my ass.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field.
Ooh, shit.
Here we go.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long.
X39, Lucy.
Bortles now to throw. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. The 30, 20.
Watch that
10,
big man run, boom.
Touchdown, Jaguars. Austin Safarian Jenkins, 73 yards. And the Jags have taken the early lead.
Wasn't expecting that.
And you know, you and I praise tight ends in today's game a lot for being just like a bigger body wide receiver. Boy, a play that long from that position, you just didn't used to see that as much.
No, you were really just counting on the tight end position to catch the football and get what they got on the catch. And now it's the run after the catch that makes them so dangerous. Hard to bring those big guys down when they get rolling.
Couldn't bring him down here. Got into the end zone. It's a short kick, taken to the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
That's what everybody want to do, put Carson Wentz in. It's not going to help even if you got Carson Wentz. It don't matter.
Now it's the Boise State alone, Jay Ajayi. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the...
I knew it. I knew. How did I know we were going to put Carson Wentz in? That dude ain't no better. Nick Foles ain't fuck up and y'all be ready to take him out the game.
40-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Ajayi. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Against the Falcons, by the way, Jay Ajayi, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns in that opening night win.
Well, that's why they went out and acquired him from Miami last year about mid-season. He gives them a heck of a burst, can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he will be their full-time lead back in Philly. They'll use 3, but when they want the big yards, the crucial yards, Jay Ajayi will be touching it.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
That man was on a mission. He went
forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz.
Oh, get that out of here.
Incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Here's a give to Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Now Doug Marrone with a play clock almost out says let's take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Bortles throwing on second down. Incomplete over the middle. Safarian Jenkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Bortles to throw on second down. Over the middle, complete. That's Cole. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
Here we go.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Touchdown.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Niles Paul, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Bortles. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Okay. X39, Lucy.
They'll go for it. It's Bortles. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Well, quite a few teams this past week in the NFL were playing with new quarterbacks, guys that have been in the league, but in a new uniform. And they had quite a bit of success. You noted some of them. Who'd you have down?
It's really incredible success when you think about it. Kirk Cousins in Minnesota, 1. Case Keenum in Denver, 1. Alex Smith with Washington, 1 at Arizona. Pat Mahomes, he started one game last year, but it was really a throwaway. His true debut on the road against the Chargers, wins. And Tyrod, whichever way he wants it pronounced, got a tie with Cleveland. How about special category? Ryan Tannehill back with the Dolphins. He wins in their home game against Tennessee. And fear the beard. Ryan Fitzpatrick, what a monster performance on the road, beating New Orleans with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And if you guys were worried, Brady and Rodgers still pretty good.
Yes.
This is Ajayi. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Now Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And my goodness, this is incomplete. It was the free safety to Sean Gibson who was able to range over and knock it away. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Did you close it?
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So that one will be accepted.
I got so much beef, I could barely sleep. Paranoia got me losing on my Z's all day. Good Lord, mama praying on the knees all day. If you still frontin' when I up it, I'ma squeeze. Bad companies, bad for your company. Bad companies, bad for your company. In the ski mask, in case you come for me. Got it in the ski mask, in case you come for me. When I say I got beef, they don't want no beef. When they say they got beef, they don't wanna eat. If you said they want, they don't want no steam. She put it on it. Had a bachelor's degree, PhD while selling. Fix the face and fix the weed. Now working on the self-esteem. Hit a block, yo this flock. Where you at? Pin it. My new map location be the block on the app.
You can't hang, baby. We don't want you around here. Ice on my neck in this froze. Santa's reindeer. You got bad. It's the same here. Bad company, look, bro. You can't hang here. Getting money, so the keep on coming. Phone ringing, so you know the jumping. They looking at me. He owe me some money. I need that. Hit him with the crumping. Why he playing games? They don't want no problems with me. My got good. You know I brought them. Might not hit a bad. Someone send them. Opposition, move on. So I
Dark shades, too much. Got to barely see them. Acting brand new like I don't see it. When I do, who them folks going too close. Give me room, phony folks, play it close, do the most, don't they? Bad company, that's bad for your company. Bad company, that's bad for your company. Mad cow disease, now you in a ton of beef. Tuck underneath my new blue Dunkerbeef. Flintstone, bust down, color Murakami. Fruity Pebble, Bezel, Wilma, Betty, Fred, and Barney. Bad from out of town, I think she modeled at McCarmy. Wrist game, lucky charmy, told my jeweler leprechaun me. I'ma come clean, I got E. Paranoia got me rolling on my sleeves, okay. Hating cause I'm up and up the fees. Whole team got these on the keys all day. I got so much beef, I could barely sleep. Paranoia got me losing on my Z's all day. Good Lord, mama praying on the knees all day. If you still frontin' when I upped it, I'ma squeeze.
I'm above average.
Hey. Okay. Pocket through big day sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like Pluto. You back to Kudo. You and her no chance, you go. Pocket through big day sumo. 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 Pull card like Kudo. You and her no chance, you go. Pocket through big day sumo. 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 Tell me who the hottest that you know. If it ain't me, you Curry get the flame calling Prince Zuko. Swimming through the money like a flounder. I just want the knowledge and the power. Running looking at me sour. Eat it like Jada. Rada. Never gave a about a dollar. More money mean more problems. Pray for me to fall like autumn. Got it on my own with no help, man. Got up, did it, that's it, and myself, man. They need a new hope, deliver new, giving out like Shaq at the free throw. Anybody wanna be ET? Man, y'all can't see me. Out of my league, you pee-wee. Pocket through beat Rakesh. Pocket through big day sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like Pluto. You back to Kudo. You and her no chance, you go. Pocket through big day sumo. 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 Pull card like Uno. Flip like Pluto.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. Avoids him at the 40, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
It should go without saying that anytime you run the football well and gain a nice chunk of yardage, that means the offensive line did their job and did it really well. But let's give them a little more credit than that. Because all week long, offensive line meetings, they're going over adjustments, counters, when line shifts, all those things that go along with it. And yet, you still have...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's going to air it out out right away. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure. But it falls incomplete, and it's second down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play.
I hope I ain't put it out.
Try it again later.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Trucks over it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a 2nd down. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out come the Jags. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Fournette, a first down carry. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Green 80.
They go play action here on first down. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. But they face a second and long to start things out. Throwing now is Bortles. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jonathan Bostic in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
372.
On third and long, it's Bortles. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll pitch it out to Bell, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Snickers, 66. Like 80.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Bortles leads the Jags up first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. So after the INT, it's Bortles. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. This is Fournette, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
From midfield, here's Bortles. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down again. Yannick Ngakoue in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 17. Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. Now the play clock hits 0 here, and we're going to get a delay. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And they're not going to get this one off in time. It'll be a delay. Successive penalties have them looking now at a 1st and 20. Bortles. And a Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now Bortles. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Now the toss to Bell running right. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the 1st half.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Roethlisberger will throw. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. A strong safety, Barry Church, all over that one and knocked it away.
They didn't have a ton of yards to pick up on that 3rd down, but there was no way they were playing that one safe. They decided to take that one downtown. They must have felt that they had a big play that was waiting for them. Unfortunately, it was incomplete.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. On the return, it's Juju Smith-Schuster. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, it's Bell. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
And the Steelers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. A handoff to Fournette, and he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Here we go, here we go.
Now Bortles. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play that time for Jacksonville. 57 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Now Fournette. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Again, it's Fournette. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed them. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast I'm not running the ball here.
And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
Bortles now to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Javon Hargrave getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Bortles. Eluding the pressure right. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Here's Fournette. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Now Bortles got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this shutout is going to continue as the defense holds again. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession of the football.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Back to the ground, this time to Bell. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable here from the 38. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Jaguars getting set to go. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. He's back to throw. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Bortles to the former Jet, Safarian Jenkins for the Jags' 1st down. Bortles now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage. This defense so strong all afternoon long. Well executed again there.
This is a group that really functions well off of each other. No matter what the assignment, the other person fills in the exact proper spot. They've made it very, very hard for them to find open places to throw the football.
He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Here we go.
Again, it's Bell. Gets it up around the 22 and no further. Did show some power on the run, but not a whole lot of room. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8. Now they'll run it on the toss. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.